All right, welcome to another deep dive. This time, we're taking a look at Chocolate City Cigar Lounge in Las Vegas through their website and menus and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and, at first glance, it seems like just another cigar lounge, but the more I look at this stuff, the more I'm like,
Right.
okay, this is a little different. There's a little more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, it seems like they're really trying to cultivate a specific kind of experience.
Yeah.
More so than just your average, cigar lounge.
Yeah, like there's stuff on here about events and memberships and their drinks.
Yeah.
Like they've got like tequila flights,
Oh, wow.
mimosa flights.
Okay, that's
You're
interesting.
like, wait, what?
All right, so we're not talking just like whiskey and scotch here.
Yeah. So that's what, like looking at it more, I'm thinking this is worth a deep dive.
Definitely. Yeah, let's dive in it.
Okay, so starting with the basics, their website is called Chocolate City El Septimo Cigar Bar and Lounge. It's in Vegas, and they list the address as 1511 South Commerce Street, Suite 120.
Okay.
And one little detail that caught my eye is they're open later on weekends.
Oh, okay.
So that suggests maybe more of like an after hours, like
Right.
lively vibe. I don't know.
Yeah, more of a nightlife feel to it. Interesting.
Yeah. Now, another thing they make a point of mentioning right on their website is safety and ventilation.
Oh, okay. That's not something you always see emphasized.
Right. It made me chuckle because they immediately follow that up with, and we also have very spacious restrooms.
Uh-huh. Well, there you go.
Like, okay, I guess that's important too.
Yeah, comfort is key. But it does show they're thinking about the whole experience.
It does. It does.
Okay, so now let's get to the cigars.
All right. Let's see what they've got.
Okay, so I'm looking at their menu here on Toast, and just the variety is kind of crazy.
Okay.
It's everything from, like, more affordable options.
To this one. That's called the Exception Esmeralda. That's $53.
Whoa, okay. $53 for one cigar.
I know, right?
Oh.
So I'm very curious what makes that one so special.
Yeah, that's got to be something pretty high-end.
Oh, and also I keep seeing this name Fat Bottom Betty pop up.
Fat Bottom Betty.
Oh, and it's like both a cigar and a cocktail.
Interesting. Maybe it's their, like, signature thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's possible. Okay, but then I look at their menu on Grubhub, and it's completely different.
Oh, really? How so?
It's way more limited,
Eh.
and it's all like just categories, like American, breakfast, dessert, snacks.
So maybe their full food menu isn't entirely online then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But wait, hold on. Breakfast at a cigar lounge. What does that even mean?
Okay, yeah, that's not what I'd expect. Now I'm really curious.
Right, like what kind of breakfast are they serving with cigars?
All right, so they've definitely got some surprises up their sleeve.
Definitely. Now, back on their website, they talk a lot about hosting events. Birthdays, office functions, all sorts of things.
So they're playing up that special occasion kind of angle.
Yeah. And they even have like online reservations you can make.
For parties, too.
Yeah, both for tables and private parties.
Okay, so they're really leaning into that whole, like, event space celebration vibe.
Totally, yeah. And then there's this whole thing about membership,
What are the perks?
like a personal locker, guest passes, discounts on cigars and wine and spirits, VIP access.
Wow, okay, they're not messing around.
And get this, the first 50 members, they get a special founder's rate.
Yeah.
Their monthly fee never increases.
Ooh, smart move.
Right?
It creates that sense of exclusivity.
Yeah. Like you're part of the club, the inner circle.
Exactly. It makes you feel like you're getting in on something special.
Definitely. Okay, but then there's also a thing called a cutting fee.
A cutting fee? What's that?
If you want to bring your own W1 cigar,
Oh, okay.
it's $20. Plus, you still have to spend at least another $20 there.
Wow, so they're serious about you supporting the lounge, even if you're not buying their cigars.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting, the flights menu.
Okay, this is the one with the tequila and mimosas, right?
Yeah, but it's not just that. They've got like whiskey flights, of course, but also tequila flights, vodka flights,
Wow.
mimosa flights. It's like, what other kind of flights can they come up with?
They're really going all out on the variety, not what you typically picture for a cigar lounge.
Nope. Okay, and then they have all this merch.
Merch. Like what?
Usual, like lighters and cutters.
Right.
But then also P-shirts, hoodies,
Okay.
portable humidors.
Fancy.
Yeah. And then they've got like all these different El Septimo branded ashtrays.
Oh, for the true aficionado.
Like if you're really serious about your cigar game. And finally, this little thing tucked away on the Toast menu, Wine Tasting Wednesdays.
Wine tasting Wednesdays?
It just says $25, no other details.
Okay, now that is intriguing. They like to keep us guessing.
I know, right? So as you can see just from this initial look, Chocolate City is more than just a place to smoke cigars.
Definitely. They're offering a whole experience, a whole vibe.
Yeah, and it's making me wonder, like, who exactly are they trying to attract?
Right. Like, who's their ideal customer? Who thrives in this environment?
That's what we got to figure out.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to be, I don't know, like all things to all people.
Yeah, there's definitely that tension there.
Right. Like on one hand, you've got the tequila flights and the emphasis on events,
Right.
which makes it seem very open and welcoming.
Uh-huh.
But then you've got the $53 cigar and the founder's rate,
Exactly.
which is very much like, hey, if you're in the know, you're in the know, you know?
It's that balance between accessibility and exclusivity.
Yeah. And you know what else I find interesting? The name itself.
Chocolate City. Yeah.
What does that even conjure up for you?
Well, I immediately think of like warm, rich colors, maybe
Yeah.
some chocolate-inspired decor.
Right. And then I think back to the spacious restrooms thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like they're really going for a certain vibe, you know?
Absolutely. It's all about creating a feeling, an atmosphere.
Yeah, like you're not just smoking a cigar, you're experiencing Chocolate City.
Exactly. The whole package.
Okay, and one more thing about the membership. They mention work lounge amenities.
Oh, interesting. So maybe they're also targeting like professionals.
Yeah, like people who work remotely or who want a place to, I don't know, have
Yeah.
meetings or just like a change of scenery.
Yeah, it's like a sophisticated alternative to the coffee shop.
Right, you could have like a business meeting
Mm-hmm.
and then, seal the deal with a cigar and a tequila flight.
There you go. Talk about closing a deal in style.
Right. It's not your typical office environment. Okay, but let's circle back to the cigars for a minute.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that $53 exception, Esmeralda. What makes it so special?
I mean, I'm no expert,
I-
but I imagine it's got to be like rare tobacco, aged for years, rolled by like cigar rolling masters.
Right, like handcrafted by elves in a hidden cave or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, something like that.
Uh-huh.
But then for us, mere mortals,
Uh-huh.
they've got plenty of more affordable options.
Good to know.
And hey, there's always the Fat Bottom Betty cocktail.
That's true. Can't go wrong with the signature cocktail.
Exactly. And don't forget, we're still not entirely sure what their full food situation is.
Right, that Grubhub menu was kind of vague.
Yeah, like American breakfast, dessert. Come on, give us some details.
I know. It just makes me more curious. Like, what does breakfast at a cigar lounge even look like?
Right. That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah, it's like they want us to come in and find out for ourselves.
Maybe that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing I wanted to touch on. And this is a marketing tactic I kind of admire.
Okay, what is it?
The founder's rate.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant. It creates such a sense of urgency.
Mhm.
Like, get in now before it's too late.
And it plays on our fear of missing out.
Totally. You don't want to be the person who's paying $250 a month
Right.
when you could have gotten in at $200.
Exactly. It's smart. But okay, let's address the elephant in the room, or maybe it's the smoke cloud in the room.
You mean the $20 cutting fee?
Yeah. That's got to be a sticking point for some people.
Oh, definitely. Especially if you're a serious cigar smoker.
Right, you probably have your own collection, your own preferences.
Yeah, and you got to pay $20 just to enjoy your own cigar. Ouch.
I can see how that would rub some people the wrong way.
Yeah. It's a tough one because I get it from a business perspective.
Sure, they want to make sure people are spending money.
Right, but it might alienate some of their target audience.
It's a gamble for sure. But hey, maybe that's how they filter out the casuals, you know?
Ooh, that's an interesting thought. Like, if you're truly dedicated,
Exactly.
you'll pay the price.
You're committed to the Chocolate City experience.
Yeah, it's like a test of your loyalty.
Exactly. Okay, so we talked about the cutting fee, but let's get back to the thing that really caught my eye, those drinks.
Oh, yeah. Tequila flights, vodka flights, even mimosa flights.
It's so unexpected.
Right, like it breaks all the stereotypes of a cigar lounge.
Yeah, you don't usually think of like mimosas and cigars together.
No, but why not?
Exactly, and I think that's what they're going for, like challenging those preconceived notions.
Yeah, maybe attracting a different crowd.
Right, like people who wouldn't normally think of going to a cigar lounge.
Yeah, like, hey, come try a mimosa flight. We've got comfy chairs.
Haha, exactly. It's a whole different vibe. And they clearly have a well-stocked bar
Yeah,
if they're doing all these different kinds of flights.
yeah. I mean, that says something right there.
It does. They're not just sticking to the basics. It's like they're trying to elevate the whole experience.
Yeah, it's not just about the cigars. It's about the drinks, the
That
atmosphere.
whole package.
Yeah. Okay, and then the merch.
Right. T-shirts, hoodies, even those fancy ashtrays.
Yeah, it's like they're building a whole lifestyle brand.
Totally. Like you're not just smoking a cigar, you're living the chocolate city life.
Uh-huh, yeah. And I gotta say, those ashtrays, they're pretty cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. For the serious cigar smoker who wants to, make a statement.
Yeah, it's like I take my cigar game seriously.
Exactly. All right, but there's one thing we still haven't quite cracked, those wine tasting Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, the mystery event.
$25, no other details. What are they hiding?
I know. I'm picturing like dimmed lights, maybe some smooth jazz,
Right.
some fancy cheeses, like a whole different atmosphere.
Yeah, it could be like a completely separate vibe from the rest of the week.
Totally. And
Yeah.
again, it's attracting a whole new crowd.
Right, like people who maybe wouldn't normally go to a cigar lounge.
Exactly. It's all about broadening their appeal.
Smart move. So they've got the cigars, the drinks, the food, the events, the merch.
Yeah,
It's like, what don't they have?
I know, right? It's overwhelming in the best way possible.
They're really going all out to create this immersive experience.
Yeah, the Chocolate City is more than just a place. It's a whole thing.
It's a state of mind.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say that Chocolate City is not your average cigar lounge.
Definitely not. They're pushing boundaries. They're challenging expectations.
Yeah. And it's making me wonder, like, what's next for them?
Right. What other surprises do they have up their sleeve?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Exactly. But for now, we're left with a sense of intrigue and maybe a little bit of cigar envy.
Haha, yeah. So, to our listeners, we leave you with this. Imagine yourself at Chocolate City. What are you drinking? What are you smoking? Who are you with? And most importantly, how do you feel?